Hello YouTube, welcome to VidHead85 Entertains, and this is going to be a spoiler-free movie review of the film Sunday Morning Rapture.
God, what if his appearance occurs on a Sunday morning?
So Sunday Morning Rapture is obviously an evangelistic film that wants everyone to reevaluate their relationship with God in hopes that they will be ready for the rapture. Now, I believe the rapture is referenced in 1 Thessalonians 17 as we will be caught up, and in Revelation 3:10 when the risen Jesus says that he will keep them from what is to come. In 1 Corinthians 15:51-53 and Matthew 24:30-31 that Jesus will come and his angels will come with a trumpet call, which was how kings were announced. This is all probably more interesting than the actual movie itself. And some people are saying that that Matthew 24:30-31 doesn't talk about the rapture. It's kind of interesting to see what other theories abound on that. But let's get into our first one. So I don't really know much about the characters or their names, but there is this guy who's the pastor. We have this rich guy, Ryan Kilgore, who constantly dodges church with his wife. And then we have a neighbor who is a devout guy who may be a deacon or associate pastor. Then we have the neighbor's son, Charles, who wants to ride by himself to church, but pick up the associate pastor's daughter because I guess they're dating. Then we have a man who makes a good point. And actually, I'm going to let him make his case, because this is a really interesting point here.
Jobs. 2, and we still can't make ends meet. We've lived here for 3 years. We wanted to start a family. We wanted to buy a house. And we still owe the insurance company $1,000 from when you had your surgery. How can we afford a family when we can't even afford ourselves? I'm tired and I'm frustrated. We sing songs about enlarging our territory and never seeing the righteous forsaken. But our territory gets smaller and smaller, and every month I have to ask a creditor for an extension.
Now we have a woman whose son may have gotten a girl pregnant, and their whole, like, it just seems like, I don't know, maybe like their timing and everything like was a bit off, like, or maybe the editing wasn't as tight. We also have a woman who is taking the loss of a pregnancy very hard. And I understand that this is a very hard thing, but I need people to understand that it's not only happening to you. Like, when we go through trauma, it is so easy to get into ourselves, and it's where we are most of the time. But understand that trauma doesn't just happen to you. There is an impact zone where even though it may not have happened to them, it still affected them as well. We also see Debo, who tells a bunch of guys that, okay, get your church shoes on if I sink this basket. So we have a bunch of scenes where people experience the rapture, the audio cuts out, and behold the reveal. There are many people who are left at church since the rapture happened on a Sunday morning. Weeping and regret hath filled the pews and halls, wailing bitterly as the thought of what is to come has taken root. And apparently, pastors are not immune. So be vigilant. I also want to add next to it as well that I kind of wonder, like, the Christian, what makes a person Christian and rapture worthy or even heaven worthy is really up in the air, because there's so many, like, it seems like in trying to be, like, they simplify and then they expand, and then all of it makes no sense. So my recommendation simply as we've gone through this is, it's not really a movie that I watch it mostly because it's like, I watched it for the review, but I also watched it because I was like, well, let me take a look at this. It sounds interesting. But it's bad. It's bad. I don't care about the characters too much. I really don't. I don't like any of them. There's not much to like about this movie. So, and there's so many characters. It's overloaded with characters. It's done where, like, I wish that there was more of, like, that it kind of, I wish the interconnectedness could come to us in a way where it could be, where we could care about the characters and get to know them. But they just spotlight a whole bunch of different people, so I don't care about them. So if you're a Christian and you believe in this stuff and want to fortify your faith, okay, great. But even then, you'll admit that this is terrible. When with such a creative God, the people need to be better who are concerned about how to tell a story rather than going with sermonizing. So next month, we're going to go back to the 70s, the land of bell bottoms, afros, and Soul Train. See you next month.